This is an instructional video on the vocabulary terms for our unit on angles. The first vocabulary term is the term vertical angles. Vertical angles represent pairs of opposite angles formed by intersecting lines. The easy way to remember it is that they are diagonally across from each other. Some examples are A and C. They go diagonally across. Another example would be E and H, again, diagonally across. Another example are B and D, again, diagonally across. And the final example are G and F. It is important to note that vertical angles are congruent, meaning they are equal. So if angle A is 30 degrees, that means angle C is 30 degrees. If G is 90 degrees, F is 90 degrees. They have to match. They are equal. The second vocabulary term is called alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are angles that are inside the parallel line, so we're looking at this section here on the interior, but on opposite sides of the transversal. Some examples would be angle D and F. They're all in this inside section, but they're on opposite sides of our line that runs through the middle. Angle E and angle C are also examples of alternate interior angles. They're on the inside section, but on opposite sides of our line running through the middle. It is important to note that these angles are also congruent, meaning they are equal. So for example, if angle E is 20 degrees, angle C would be 20 degrees. They have to be the same because they're congruent. The third vocabulary term is alternate exterior angles. They represent angles outside the parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. So we're looking at the angles up at the top on the edge and on the bottom edge on the exterior section. Some examples would be angle A and angle H. They're on the outside edges, but on opposite sides of our line running through the middle. Angle G and angle B are alternate exterior angles. Again, they're on the outside edges on the exterior, and they're on opposite sides of our line running through the middle. Just like the other examples, they are congruent, meaning they are equal. They're the same. If angle H is 75 degrees, angle A is 75 degrees. They have to match. Our next vocabulary term is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are angles in the same position. It's sometimes said that they're in matching corners. I like to think of the angles in two groups. We have this top group, A, B, C, and D, and we have this bottom group, E, F, G, and H. Corresponding angles are in the same position, but in different groups. So for example, that would be angle A, that's in the top corner, and angle E in the top corner. Angle B would be matched up with angle F. Angle D would be matched up with angle G. And angle C would be matched up with angle H. Each one has a pair. It is important to note that they are congruent, meaning they are equal. Each pair is the same. If angle E is 50 degrees, angle A is 50 degrees. If F is 102 degrees, then angle B is 102 degrees. The pairs have to match. Our last vocabulary term is the term supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are angles that are side by side that form a straight line. There are lots of examples. Side by side could be A and B. They are side by side, and I can draw a straight line between them. Same thing with D and C. side by side with a straight line between them. E and F, side by side with a straight line between them. G and H, side by side with a straight line. But they can also go the opposite directions. I'm going to draw the exact same problem, A, B, D, and C, E, F, G, and H, except we can also pair them going up and down. A and D are also side by side. B and C are side by side. E and G are side by side. F and H are side by side. Even though they're going up and down, they're still right next to each other. They're still touching the same edges. It's important to note that these angles add together to equal 180. So that would mean that A and B, I could add those together and it would equal 180. D and C, I can add together to equal 180. E and F, I can add together to equal 180. G and H, I can add together to equal 180. And we can do all the pairs in the other set of examples that I did as well. You can add the pairs together and they will equal 180.